Hey, hey, everybody. Oh, I'm supposed to play that darn song. Hang on. Hang on. Wait, hang on. Hi, Joey. Joey was first one on. Hey, Carmen. Hey, Bonnie. Hey, Ellen. Hang on. I'm supposed to have a song playing. Dang it. Hang on. Hang. Hi, Danielle. Hi, Sharon. Hang on. I'm supposed to be playing a song right now. Dee Dee, I messed this up. Okay. Can you hear it? I don't know where my microphone is. Carmen, do you know the song? It's called Stuntin' is a Habit. Never heard it before. Dee Dee sent it to me. So there you go. There's my music for the night. How is everybody on this Wednesday? Hi, Angie. Hi, Brian. Dee Dee, I played it. I was a little tardy with the song, but hi, Lacey. How do you? I know sidekicks. I did them earlier. Y'all need to send me some music so I can start playing it before I start my lives. So glad you guys are on me. Hey, Jennifer, this topic, habits. This will be a lifelong journey for all of us. And as I'm talking, if any of y'all have tricks or tips, there's no real tricks, but tips or things that have worked for you when you've had to, overcome bad habits or start developing healthy habits, I want you to share it because I can share some things that I've done, but researching it today, I got so many aha moments. So let's please share and let's talk in here. But first, who's ready to win? Who wants that free month? Come on. None of y'all want it? Maybe there's a delay. So I went through everyone who, if you followed, you saw it was Tag for Swag, I think it was. And thank you all. I think there's 11 last time I checked, people that shared the post, tagged 3 friends. Some of you guys tagged a lot more. So thank you for that. As you know, I'm trying to grow this family, and I think the more, the better, and we all need each other to be successful and live our best lives. So I just want this to be a big movement. I love people. I especially have a passion and a compassion for women, and I feel like my purpose is to do my part to help us all, including myself, live the life we want. You too, Joey. Okay, so the winner of the free month is a member, and it is Sharon Glenn. So thank you, Sharon. I don't even know how many people you tagged, but you tagged so many. So thank you for that. Oh, there's a little person coming behind me on my live. Juliana, I'm live, sweetie girl. So yay, Sharon, thank you so much. Thank you all who shared. I so appreciate that. Hi, Ashley, and that's awesome, Bonnie, I see that. So way to go, Sharon. And the winner of the $50 Amazon gift card, this went to somebody that, it's gonna go to somebody that already signed up for my workshop on May 5th. Hi, Lenny. So we're gonna have a raffle on the 28th. We're doing it tonight on my live. So I have your names in here if you already signed up for my workshop. And we're gonna do this again. Dee Dee can post the date that we're gonna do another raffle for another $50 gift card. But today, I won't look, the winner of the $50 Amazon gift card is Carmen Sita. Carmen, you are the winner of the $50 Amazon gift card. So I will put that at the studio so you can get it. And Sharon will make the adjustment to your membership to add that free month. So more prizes to come, you guys. So keep the love going. Keep the sharing of my post and inviting your friends to my workshop. It's going to be so good. I cannot wait till May 5th. Another announcement for to keep in line with my May 5th Cinco de Mayo workshop, Get Curious. We are going to meet next Thursday. I'm going to have a Hash Out with Heather meetup next Thursday at Cinco de Mayo, right down from our studio in Nashville on White Bridge Road. And I'm going to have, hopefully those of y'all that are on a 6-week challenge, I don't think you can drink anyway, but I'm going to buy some pitchers, and we're going to have chips and salsa. I'll ask for some veggies for those 6-week challenge people. Although, is it after the challenge is over? I think it might be. Hang on. Oh, it's the 14th. But don't worry, we're going to have another one for you challenge people in April. So we'll have another opportunity for this. So I'll make sure I have some things for you guys to eat. But the purpose of the meetup is really just to be with each other face to face. I might share a little bit, talk a little bit about some things we're going to do at my Get Curious workshop. But I want you guys to bring people, invite friends, coworkers, anybody else that would enjoy having a community and a support group outside of I Love Kickboxing. All right, so I'd love you guys to join me that night, March 14th at 6:30 at Cinco de Mayo, and I'll probably have a drawing for whoever brings the most people. But it's really just a place for us to be together and socialize, and anything over margaritas is always good, right? And I promise you 6-week challenger people that we will have another one for you guys in April. All right? So my Get Curious workshop, like I said, is May 5th. Go ahead and sign up. And if you refer a friend, there's an opportunity there for some savings. And if you bring a group, even more so. But we're going to really dive into where do we feel alive? What is our passion and our purpose? We're going to do some personality testing, which I'm super excited about. I love doing those things. I've done so many in my life. And then those of you that kind of know what your purpose is or your passion, but you haven't really figured out a way to really use it in your life, we're going to dive into that too. So it's going to be super good. You do not have to have gone to my first workshop to go to my second workshop. Okay, so don't even worry about that. There's a purpose for the flow of them, but you will not be lost at all if you come to the second one and you didn't come to the first one. So they do operate by themselves as well. So Dee Dee, if you will post again, I think it's at the top of my page anyway, but if you can repost the link in this live, Dee Dee, that will, if you guys want it, want to join my Get Curious, we're going to have another raffle in March for everyone else that has signed up. So don't wait. If something comes up and you have a conflict, we can refund you or we apply it to the next workshop. So don't let that be. Someone told me that they think the Preds might be in playoffs. Diane Fashing told me that. If that happens, we'll put that money towards the next workshop or I'll send you a refund. But I would love you to sign up now and start sharing it and invite people to go to that workshop. We had a blast at the first one. All right, who's ready to dive into habits? I'm going to talk about, my title for this live is Your Life is the Sum of Your Habits. And if you really think about your behaviors and your actions on a daily basis, it's almost all habitual. There's so much behind it and so much, there's obvious habits and then there's ones that we don't even realize we're doing. So I want you guys to start writing any habits. You can write good, but I really want to focus on replacing our bad habits with healthy habits. So here's some, as I was trying to think through today, all the things that are habits. One of the funniest ones I thought of, and I won't name everybody in my family who does this, but my youngest son, Jake, takes the phone with him into the bathroom every time he goes. Can y'all relate to that? He's 12. Every time. And at first, obviously, it wasn't a habit. He wanted to be on his phone. But now he didn't even realize it. He's walking through my house with his phone, staring at it with YouTube going, and then goes in the bathroom and is in there for an hour. That's a habit. It's a bad habit. It's a gross habit, frankly. So what else? One of mine is when I get home from work and I want to unwind or I'm getting ready to cook dinner, I drink wine. Habit. I associate cooking dinner, sunsetting with wine. Other obvious habits, brushing your teeth. I mean, we learn that as little kids, right? And brushing our teeth is a habit. We don't have to think about it. It's not hard. It's hard for my 12-year-old, and it's hard for some other children. Hopefully it's not hard for us as adults, because that's gross. Drinking enough water. This is a habit I'm working on, because I do not drink enough water. So that, but doing that is a habit. Okay, how many of you come home from work or come home from somewhere that you've been out all day and you immediately walk in and open up your fridge or open up your pantry? Have any of y'all ever done that? My kids do that, habit. They just walk in, time to eat. I tell my 12-year-old all the time, you're not hungry, you're bored. You're coming into the pantry is a habit you have. How about, it is negative self-talk, but this happened in the studio the other day, and she's not on here, but it was Stacy, and I walked in and I said, your hair always looks amazing when you come to the studio and when she leaves after the workout, and she works out hard. And she goes, oh no, it's nothing. I just woke up. And she starts like, dismissing my compliment. And then she stopped. I didn't say a thing. And she said, thank you. Thank you for that compliment. But our initial, how many of you, when someone compliments you, oh my God, it looks like you've lost so much weight, or oh my God, that was such a good speech, or oh my gosh, you look so great. How many of you are like, oh no, I don't. I have so much further to go. I still need to lose 15 more pounds or whatever. How many of you do that? Hey, Cassie. I know, Lacey, I'm not hungry. I just need some water. But how many of you guys do that? Like, if someone gives you a compliment and you're embarrassed. You don't even know how to, your immediate emotional response in your head is, no, I'm not. I got so much further to go. We do that. That's a habit. And being aware of it is how you start to change it, which is what Stacy did in the studio the other day, is she immediately recognized that she was shutting it off and changed it. So that takes practice. Talking on the phone in the car. I mean, I think for a lot of us, that's a habit. Like, oh, we're in the car driving, pick up the phone. And that's not always a bad thing. I catch up with my family a lot of times when I'm driving. But are there other things that we could be doing? Watching the road would be a good idea. But, maybe that's the time you listen to podcasts. Or maybe you want to get in a good mood, so you need to put some music on. But we can associate driving with, okay, time to be on the phone. And hopefully it's not texting. But that's a habit too. How many of you get in bed, turn the TV on? We do that. And I like to have the noise on. So that's a huge, huge bad habit for me. And I'm not saying you can't get in bed and watch TV, but I want y'all to be more intentional about it. Could you get in bed and read for 15 minutes or read 10 pages? So it's okay to watch TV, but it's just learning to be intentional and being aware of what we're doing and not just doing things out of habit. What about, okay, I want the honest truth, you guys. How many of you wake up in the morning, grab your phone, and go on social media? I need some love in here. How many of you do that? Wake up, grab your phone, grab your computer, and go to social media and look to see what's happened, who's posted what. And again, that's not necessarily a bad thing depending on what you're looking at and what you're saying to yourself, right? Because like a lot of my social media with Hashtag with Heather I'm on social media. But if I'm looking at it and say, well, how many likes did my post get yesterday? How many, look at other women and beating ourselves up. Gosh, she's lost 15 pounds in her transformation. I've lost 6, and start beating ourselves up. So social media is such a beautiful thing, you guys, and it does get a negative rap because we allow it, we start abusing it. And we need to control that like anything else, like alcohol, drugs, what we eat. Social media can be, if you know it's not healthy for you, if you're going right to comparison, you need to make some changes. But I think it's a beautiful thing to do things like this, to keep track of friends and family and their children. So, I love social media, but you have to be disciplined enough or know your triggers and be aware of when you're jumping on it, and making sure you're not allowing it to get in the way of doing other things. How many of you guys knew that your energy, positive or negative, is a habit? Anybody know that? And there's I've read articles on both sides of this that I've read articles that talk about how we have a innate energy and we have to make a decision to actually change it if it's a negative energy. But something I read today, I think it was Tony Robbins, talked about our energy is also a habit, and we can make it a good habit by being aware of what kind of energy we're putting off. And that takes some work, but that's also negative. A bad attitude is a habit. Negative self-talk is a habit we can change. And putting off negative energy is a habit that we can change. All good news, right? So that's some of the ones I have. Anybody else have any other? I wait till 7 a.m. Good, Cindy. Hi, Kelly. I'm seeing if anybody else have any bad habits. None of y'all have bad habits. I'm the only one. I'm just kidding. I just wanted to see if you guys had any that you wanted to share. But as you saw in those examples, some of them, like I said, are obvious, and some of them are things we don't even realize that we're doing, especially the ones around our self-sabotaging behaviors and narrative that we tell ourselves. So I was thinking today, and I had to talk with a member on Sunday that's in the transformation and was struggling with feeling overwhelmed. And I started thinking about, and I read something today about it, when we hear big overnight success stories, and I use overnight, you guys loosely, but someone lost 20 pounds, somebody lost 50 pounds, big accomplishments, and we feel like, God, that happened so fast. We focus on that end result, and what we don't know is all the process to get there, and all the work to get there. Even with the 6-week challenge, Jen, who's on here, was telling me the other day, that if she would have done this challenge, I think you said a year ago, Jen, that she would have been able to do it. And because she wasn't mentally and emotionally there. And I thought that was interesting and I say that because that's the work she's done on herself from a year ago to the 6-week challenge has prepared her to be successful in it. And even setting up for the 6-week challenge is a success, you guys. That takes a lot of courage. But it took her, all of y'all that are having success, it's taken you to prepare yourself to this point. It's a lot of little decisions before you have the success. Does that make sense? So it's not, we focus so much and we want quick results, right? Things, immediate gratification. And it's not sustainable in most cases. It's not if you don't do the preparation prior and you learn to trust yourself and you know that you're worthy of the healthy habit that will help you meet and live your life with the goals that you want, right? Yeah, my comparison, Lacey, I mean, if you pay attention to how much we compare ourselves, it's overwhelming. And I want you to, for the standpoint of being aware so you can start to flip that. Again, mindset, negative self-talk, habits that we're going to change. And it doesn't happen easy. We've got to practice it all the time. And we have to catch ourselves, and being aware of it's where we catch ourselves in order to substitute it. Kelly says, bad habit for me is making a plan and then something happens and I say, it's okay, I will do it tomorrow. It's always tomorrow I will start. So can relate to that, Kelly. And that part of that is boundaries. Another hash out that I did earlier last year. But being able to, things are going to throw us off schedule, but oftentimes we let it because we don't manage and control our own schedules. And I'm learning that with my life coach that I'm working with, is really being in control of my own schedule and not feeling like I have to say yes to everything. And that's the discipline and a practice. And it's not easy for those of us that don't want to disappoint anybody and we want to do everything. So as I said, almost every habit is the process of many little decisions prior to that habit, creating that habit. So it would make sense that to replace that bad habit with a healthy habit, we have to make a lot of little decisions to create this new habit and then sustain it. And that's when I was talking to Paige on Sunday. I really want her. She had lost 10 pounds. You probably heard me say this. She's eating vegetables for the first time ever. She said she feels good, but yet she was focused on that she still had 15 more pounds to go. And I said, her face was defeated. And I said, Paige, listen to what you just said to me. And it was an emotional moment, because be proud of your progress and focus on those steps that she's taken that have now, she's 4 weeks in. And so it's a good chance these are habits on that she can sustain for her life. So we need, again, that's a mindset. If she keeps herself focused on that negative, that overwhelming, if I have 15 pounds to go in 2 weeks, that's the wrong mindset. She's going to be overwhelmed. She's going to quit. So we have to be aware of that and then figure out how to change it. And that's what this group is for. That's what my workshops are for. And Google is an amazing thing, but so much of it's just mindset and changing how we're thinking about something to make it more attainable and be successful at it. Hey, Richard, glad you're on here. Yeah, procrastination is a big habit for me too, Carmen. I love deadlines. I do so much better when I know that I have until this day that I have to do something, and then I will not procrastinate once I know I have a deadline. So there's 3 parts to a habit, okay? There is the reminder or the trigger. Making dinner, glass of wine. Need to unwind or de-stress, I'm gonna watch a show on Netflix. So there's the trigger that then, and then there's the routine. So I know I come home from work, I start to make dinner, glass of wine, and then I can unwind. I'm not as stressed, I can relax. So you see that reminder is 3 R's, reminder, routine, reward. The reward is the benefit from the habit. All right, so you can take any of your habits and see what the trigger is, what makes you want to do that, what the routine is that's setting you up for that, and then what the benefit or the reward is because you did that. And the trick is to change those or change one of those, especially the reward or the benefit. You know, I need to find something else that I can associate with winding down after work and cooking dinner that's not always wine. Okay, so we have to learn to, and we can't make it too big and too overwhelming or we won't do it. So some of you might come home from work, turn the TV on, sit down on the couch, and end up being there for a good hour or two watching a show to get your mind off everything else. Not bad unless you're doing it every single time, 5 days a week, and it's keeping you from doing things that you should be doing to meet your goal. This is all about, are you living the life you want? Are you meeting the goals you want? And are you having healthy habits to live to help you achieve those? All right, so wake up in the morning, grabbing your phone, jumping on social media. Wake up in the morning is your trigger. It's your reminder. The routine is wake up in the morning, grab my phone, get on social media. And then the reward is the benefit is interesting because maybe it's because you want, what's the word I'm thinking of? Recognition for the post you did the night before, or you want to see what other people are doing. But then that turns into comparison, which is not really a benefit to you, right? So, but you're jumping on there for some sort of satisfaction. You're wanting something from that. And you're getting it or you wouldn't keep doing it. So you have to kind of recognize, what is that? Why do I do that? And find it, and we have to replace that. So to create new habits, we have to start changing the reminders, the triggers, changing the routine, changing the reward. So if you, for instance, I don't know how many, if you have any smokers on here, but if you, when you drink, if it triggers you to smoke, then you're going to need to stop drinking for a little while. Easier said than done, I know. My mom had the hardest problem with that. So we have to realize what one action, one behavior can trigger another one. And start, I love he gave someone on our call today, gave the example of when you're brushing your teeth, put the floss right by there. Every time you brush your teeth, trigger, start flossing. That sounds silly, but how many of you floss every night? I need to. I do not. Don't yell at me. I probably floss a couple times a week. That might be a stretch. Eek, and I'm going to the dentist in a couple weeks. I'm going to get in trouble. Okay, so I digressed. I love this. You guys, make sure the habits that you're working on, the ones that you want to create in your life, are really habits to help you live the life that you want to live. Not what somebody else, not the life that somebody else thinks you should live. So you'll never be successful in sustaining healthy habits if they're habits that somebody else wants for you. Does that make sense? So you can't, whether it's someone wants you to be a writer, write a book, write articles, and you don't really want to. Trying to create habits to help you be a writer when you don't really want to isn't going to, you're not going to sustain that. You're not going to be able to do it because you don't really care. Honestly, you're doing it because somebody expects that of you. So make sure that when you're writing down your goals and what habits you want to help achieve your goals, make sure that's something you really want, that you want, not what somebody else wants for you. So what is like some recipe to help us sustain success, sustain these healthy habits that we're trying to create in our lives, and changing our beliefs around them? Our self-talk is not really as hard as you think. Easy for me to say because I've been struggling with a couple unhealthy habits for a long time. But I love this perspective that I read today. It said you decide the person you want to be, and you guys have heard me talking about that for a long time. So what type of person do you want to be? And then let's set up some goals around that. And then we have to start with very small successes, small wins, right? It can't be, I want to lose 50 pounds. That's way away, right? But to say, I'm going to work out 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So you're starting to create a habit of exercise. So that is your habit, not I want to lose 50 pounds. So let's work on 3 times a week. Let's master that. And then let's work on, okay, now I'm going to add vegetables in my world. and I'm gonna eat vegetables 4 times a week, and plan how I'm gonna go to the grocery store. I'm gonna buy frozen vegetables because I know that I'll do that. I won't cut up fresh. I get home too late, whatever that is. But you see what I'm saying? You have to start creating goals that can give you small wins one at a time. And then that's gonna build up to you creating this life that you want with these small habits one at a time. And it allows you to start believing in yourself and really trusting yourself and having integrity with yourself because you see that you can do it. But if you start too big and way far away, you're setting yourself up for failure right off the bat. You're not giving yourself a chance at all. So the goal is not to achieve the result first. The goal is to become the type of person who can achieve the goal. Let me say that again. The goal is not to achieve the result first. The goal is to become a type of person who can achieve those things. Love that. I love that. And, you know, I read something else I talked about. You know how people talk about how long does it take to break a habit or to create a new habit? And I've heard 21 days, I've heard 30 days. And this article I was reading today, he said, there's no number. You can't say 21 days, you got a new habit. It depends on how much resistance you are having to the new habit, the healthy decision, the healthy behavior. Does that make sense? Because if you overeat when you're stressed, depressed, tired, the resistance you're going to have to change that is going to be a lot bigger than flossing your teeth. You see the difference? And so depending on, unless there's some trauma with flossing your teeth in your past, then maybe that'll take longer. But how long it takes for you to create a new habit is going to depend on the amount of resistance you have towards that. And so you're going to have to do some work if it's a thing like eating, emotional eating, drinking, obviously, drugs. So you can't really put a number around when like have a healthy habit. You got to be aware of how you're resisting it. And your brain's going to resist it because your brain doesn't like to be uncomfortable. It likes what it knows. Some examples of becoming the person that can achieve the life you want, can achieve those goals. Like I said before, I want to lose weight. That's so vague, so big. So the identity, who do I want to be, the type of person I want to be, is I want to be the type of person who moves every day. So how do I set myself up for success? You know what? I'm going to buy whatever they're called, the step things that you count how many steps you have. Maybe that's what you do. And I'm going to measure my steps throughout the day, every day for 30 days, 2 weeks, whatever that is for you. And then after that, you have success, you small win. Now you say, all right, I'm going to start, maybe you're going to start running in there. Maybe you're going to run walk. The neck would be your next, and then you accomplish that. And then you say, maybe I want to get over 10,000 steps by, so you see what I'm saying? Little wins along the way to set yourself up for success. But instead of saying I want to lose weight, you want to become the type of person who moves more every day, the type of person who's active in their life. Now, what action steps can I achieve to start getting confidence and build to get to that person? Another one is if you want to become a better writer, the identity part is I want to become the type of person who writes, maybe it's 1,000 words every day. And so that's, instead of saying I want to become a writer, which is so far away, so big, you say I want to write 1,000 words every day, or I want to write Monday through Friday for 15 minutes. And then you break that down. So I'm going to write a paragraph a day, or I'm going to research on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm going to write on Thursday, Friday. So again, you're getting very specific and you're making decisions based on the person that you want to be, not this big goal that seems so far away. How about this one? I want to be stronger. A lot of men with weightlifting and a lot of women, we want to be stronger, right? When we're on the mat, we want to be able to do push-ups on our toes. So I want to become strong. Again, big, what does that mean? Means one thing for Carmen, means one thing for Joey, means one thing for Kendall, means one thing for me. So to become strong is very vague and big and not specific and not action oriented. So the person I want to be that can become strong is I want to become a person that really values exercise. All right, so then my small win would be I'm going to do push-ups. Joey did this. You haven't done that in a while, honey. But he would do push-ups every either night before he went to bed or in the morning before he got ready for work. So, or maybe you're gonna do 10 push-ups and you're gonna build on that. So you do 10 push-ups for 2 weeks, and then you accomplish that Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So then you go to 20 push-ups the next week. Again, you're giving yourself a small action step that allows you to be successful, and then you build on it. But you have to make your habit, the goal, something that the person that you want to be, not the goal. Does that make sense, you guys? I thought that was brilliant. I'm like, and again, that's narrative we're telling ourselves. And it's taking the time to sit down and write down in the morning when you get up early, because you're doing your morning routine, to actually write down and think about these things and write them down and start building confidence in yourself. And what if you started to think of your life goals, not as these, like I'm saying, not as these big, overwhelming tasks that you can only achieve when the time is right, when you have the resources you need to achieve it, after my kids are grown. But instead, you start thinking of it as tiny behaviors that you repeat over and over again where success has to be inevitable. Again, just a little mind switch, a little thought process. But anytime anything's too big and too overwhelming and too far away, we're not going to be successful. Daily habits, tiny routines that are repeatable, are what make big dreams a reality. But we have to start, like I said, with small action steps to get there. And there's one common mistake that I saw throughout my research was when we're setting goals, and so therefore creating habits to meet our goals, is we often set deadlines versus focusing on the process. Now, and that's not again always bad. Like 6-week challenge gives you a short-term goal for a bigger lifestyle change, right? But when we focus on the deadline instead of the process and the schedule, we're going to quit. More times than not, we're going to quit. Hi, Liz. So we need to focus on the end goal the action step instead of the end goal. So for instance, I'm going to exercise 4 days a week. So I'm going to put it on my calendar. I'm going to do that first for a month or whatever that time frame is that you determine, have success, and then I'm going to only have carbs for no carbs at dinner. So instead of saying, you guys, I'm not going to eat carbs anymore, I'm going to say I'm not going to have carbs at dinner. Do you see the difference between that one change in what I just said sets myself up for success? And instead of saying I'm going to work out 6 days a week, I tell Joey this because he'll say things like that. I'm like, let's start. How about we work out 3 days this week and 3 days next week, and set yourself up to feel good about yourself because you can achieve it. Don't say I'm gonna work out 1 day a week. I mean, that's unless you don't work out at all, then that's a good goal. So, but that one thing about I'm not gonna eat carbs at all, which is daunting and probably not gonna allow you to be hugely successful. I'm gonna say I'm not gonna have carbs at dinner. You see what I'm saying? So we need to break down our goals into small actionable steps that we can win at. And the same with like my water intake. I had to break it down, and I'm going to have 8 ounces of water before my coffee. So I've been trying to do that the past couple days because I'm terrible about drinking enough water. So if I drink it before I have coffee, that is something it's attainable. Instead of saying I've got to drink 72 ounces of water a day. That's like, oh my God, shouldn't be. Some of you are like, Heather, really? But if I say I'm going to have 8 ounces of water every day before my coffee, and I do that for 2 to 3 weeks, then I add on to that. We're building confidence and trust in ourselves. So I would challenge you guys to just think about that in the goals you're setting, and how can you reward them to be successful. And I love this, and this is so true. And y'all have heard me talk about Mel Robbins, 54321. If you guys haven't listened to her TED Talk, it's so good. I would encourage you to look on TED Talk and look up Mel Robbins, 54321. Super, super good. She, one thing she talks about in there is it doesn't matter like what we're doing, what our goal is, if we only do it when we feel like it, when we feel motivated. I know y'all have heard this before. You'll never be consistent enough to make significant life impact changes if you're waiting till you feel like it. And I started thinking about that, and I started thinking about like athletes. And what would happen that wouldn't be athletes if a NFL football player or Olympic athlete, if they only worked out when they felt like it? They wouldn't be Olympic athletes. They wouldn't be on an NFL team. They probably wouldn't even be on a high school team. And I don't know if you guys know, but some of you that are my age probably do. Athletes, especially ones when they come out of college or the NFL, if they don't make it really big, where they make a lot of money and they need to work again, companies love to hire athletes. Because think about their career and starting with their school, when they're in middle school or high school, or really high school, not middle school. They have such discipline, schedules, and routines. And so they're used to that. So a lot of companies want to hire athletes because they know how tough they are mentally, first of all, because of what they have to overcome in games and things like that, but that they're super disciplined. So, if they wait till they felt like it, they wouldn't be that. If CEOs of successful companies didn't do things when they didn't feel like it, they wouldn't be successful. People that have lived the lives they want, I would argue, are always having to do things when they don't feel like it, and they do it anyway because they know it's the right thing to do. And that's where the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 comes from Mel Robbins, when she was trying to get up in the morning to really start to work towards the life that she wanted, and she was drinking too much and struggled with depression. She'd say, my alarm goes off, I'm like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I'm getting up. When I don't feel like doing something, I say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, I'm doing it anyway. So when you have a goal and you know what you have to do to reach that goal, do it anyway. That's what separates people from living the life they want and people that settle for mediocrity. Or you've heard me say in class, living an extraordinary life versus an ordinary life. And I don't have this down. I do in some parts of my life, but not in all. We have to do things that we know we need to do to reach our goals, even when we don't feel like it. It's not going to be easy, but it's so worth it. And I read this quote, it said, why would you want to rely on motivation, something that changes, right? We're not always motivated. Some days I know y'all come to the studio and you're like, I'm too tired, I'm sore, I had a long day at work, and you come anyway. So why would we rely on something that's changing to create a new habit for something that you want to be consistent in your life? I thought that was like, yeah, it's so true. So if you think about it, sometimes you feel motivated and sometimes you don't. So having a plan, knowing what you want, which is what I always talk about, you have to know what you want, and then making the steps to creating one habit at a time, one success at a time, and doing it even when you don't feel like it, is the steps to meeting your goals, creating better habits, and living the life you want. So we're gonna slip up, right? I've slipped up all the time. Every week I fall back 2 steps or 3 steps and sometimes fall off completely. So be prepared for that. It's going to happen. And, I remember talking to, I have people in my life that have gone through, have been addicted to drugs and alcohol and have gone through their rehab programs, have been in and out of rehab multiple times. And I forget the number, some of y'all might know, but the number of times that people fall back off when they've gone through rehab is astonishing. I don't know if it's 6 or 7 times that they will start drinking or taking drugs again before they actually finally are able to sustain a sober life. And how many of y'all have said, I'm going to work out, and you do it for 3 years and then you stop, or I'm going to eat healthy, and you do it for 2 weeks and then you stop, or 1 day and then you stop. All right, so we're going to have slip ups. So first thing I want to say about that is have compassion. And I want you to separate yourself out. When you slip up, maybe you slept in and you wanted to get up early. I've done that a lot lately and I'm not happy about it, but I'm having compassion with myself. If you've been eating healthy and you slip up and you go out to dinner and you order queso or pizza or something that you didn't plan on, so you're overeating, you slept in, you drank more than you wanted to drink. First thing you do is just go, okay, you know what? I slipped up, I slept in this morning, I'm back on track, and I'm human. That happens, and tomorrow's a new day. Talk to yourself like you would talk to your best friend if they overslept, if they had too much to drink, if they didn't work out yesterday. Don't talk to yourself and beat yourself up like nobody's listening, even though nobody's listening but you. Talk to yourself like you would talk to your best friend. So we have to have compassion for ourselves, first of all, and we have to be prepared. Okay, when that happens, what am I going to do? What's my plan for when I slip up? I'm going on vacation. I'm going on a cruise for a week. I know I'm going to be eating and drinking. I'm probably not going to work out very much. What's my plan? Have a plan. Don't try to get caught off guard. So being kind to ourselves, practicing the narrative in our head. For instance, some of you I know do this. I'm so fat. I look terrible in this. I'm so out of shape. I've heard some of y'all say that so many times. I'm so out of shape. Try this. Yes, I'm out of shape, but I will be in good shape a few months from now. All right? Or I feel so stupid. Nobody really respects me, but I'm working to develop some valuable skills that will help me in this whatever field or whatever it is that you're looking at. It's adding that but in your narrative that takes you from being so hard on yourself to softer, and it feels genuine versus saying, I remember one time talking to Shanda, and I said, you're a good mom. She was struggling with something. And she goes, well, when I say that, I feel like I'm lying to myself. If you're trying to practice positive self-talk and you feel like you're lying to yourself, it's not doing any good. You've got to find that transition period where a phrase that you believe, that's taking you from beating myself up to the person you want to be, but you need to find that phrase that feels authentic to you in the middle. So I'm a failure, or I failed at this, but everyone fails at times, and that's where growth happens. Do you see where I put that but in there? I can't believe I failed at that. I can't believe I did that again. But you know what? I'm human. Everyone fails at times. That's where growth happens. And you guys, if you write that down in the morning in your journals or on your pad, you won't have to think as much to remember to do that. It'll just start happening. That's a habit. So plan for setbacks, be kind to yourself, practice that negative, that self-talk by adding that but in there so it feels good to you. And surround yourself with supportive people. And you've heard me say that so many times. This group, our I Love Kickboxing Studios, are such a great fit family and support and accountability. But also eliminate people in your lives that are bringing you back, taking you back constantly over and over again. You're going to have to eliminate some of that, and that is super hard to do. And back to the athlete example, when a quarterback throws an interception, when they don't win a game, they are mentally tough, and the good ones can immediately turn it around. They can get back on track. Think about that in any of you that watch football. I mean, a quarterback can throw an interception. They talked about that with the Kansas City Chief, Mahomes, that he can throw a bad pass and the very next play he's back on. It doesn't shake him. And the top performers, and when I say performers, I mean whether they run a business or whether they're top performers in their life, they have the ability to get back on track quickly. And I know in my past, I've been so guilty of getting off track with my eating and mainly eating, not necessarily exercising. And I just let it go. And I'm 6 months later, I'm 10 pounds heavier, and I'm still sabotaging myself. So the top performers, the ones that live the lives that they want consistently, get back on track. They know they had the setback. All right, I did it. I'm kind to myself, but I'm back on track. So super important. And know that most of our habits, not all of them, but most of our habits are really stress and boredom. Stressed, I'm bored. Carmen, you talked about procrastination. Then the others really come from deep-rooted limiting beliefs, trauma from our past, and we dealt with it in either drinking, eating, shopaholics, typically. So those are going to be harder because you have to dig into those triggers, and that takes work. But I know y'all can do that. But the only way you're going to be able to change those bad habits, that unhealthy habits, is to really figure out why that triggers you. So worth it once you guys do that work. So recognizing the cause of your bad habits is crucial to overcome them. Okay, so where do we start? I want to give you a couple takeaways. I'm winding up here. I know I've gone longer than I meant to. Plan ahead. Be prepared for setbacks. Be prepared for, if you're going on vacation, what can you do? Can you pack some food if you're trying to create healthy habits of eating? Take your shoes so that you can walk but set it up for success. Don't say I'm going to exercise 5 times on vacation. Say I'm going to walk 3 days out of the 7 days I'm on vacation, whatever. If you do more, great. But don't continually put yourself in situations where you're failing and then you feel bad about yourself. And then you just go, forget it, I can't do it at all. So plan ahead. work on your environment, you guys. If you want to quit eating crap, try to have it in your house. Now, those of us that have kids, that's easier said than done because the kids eat snacks. But you can find ways to move things around so you don't have that trigger. If you want to quit drinking so much at night during the week, don't have alcohol in your house. Don't make it tempting for that. If you know you want to get up at 5 a.m., don't stay up till 12 unless you are working and you have to. So create an environment. If you know you have a lot to do, make your space around you organized and clean so you have mental clarity. If you all could see my table right now, it's not organized and clean. So I'm going to do that when we're done here because I work much better when my space and my environment is clean and organized. It helps me have mental clarity to focus on things that are important to me. Join, like I said before, have a supportive group. That's why I want to grow this Hash Out with Heather. If you surround yourself with people that want what you want, I don't mean exactly, but want to live the life they want, want to live healthy lifestyle, want to feel good inside, want to feel strong, be around those people as much as you can. The more I'm doing lives and posting and Hash Out with Heather and I'm in the studio and I'm doing research, the better I want to be. I'm ingrained in it. It is all around me. So do your best to swim in an environment of positive people that are uplifting, that will help you when you fall off the wagon, that will push you to be better than you are, because we need that person in our life. It has to be somebody you trust. I hope this group is that for you. I hope our studios are that for you. I hope I'm that for you, because I need a lot of y'all to be that for me too. And it makes a difference. And the other last thing is I'm working on this big time, so some of y'all can do this with me. Visualizing yourself doing those positive actions, those positive habits, living that life that you want to live, but do it in a way that feels authentic. You're going to be a little uncomfortable because you're visualizing something that you haven't done before, or you probably have done a long time ago, but don't do it where it feels not authentic, okay? But if you can visualize yourself, buying healthy food, then visualize how it feels when you eat healthy. Let yourself go to that feeling of when you work out, how it feels, and see yourself working out 4 times, 3 times a week. So visualize you doing those healthy habits and good behaviors and being that person that you're gonna be. Not that you want to be, you're gonna be. Okay, but we have to see ourselves as being successful and not and try to change habits based on who you are right now if that's not who you want to be. Okay, so visualization is something I'm working on because I've never done it before. It felt kind of silly at first, but I believe in it, and I've read about it and heard about it so much now that I know it works. Lastly, I'll leave you with this. Your why for the life you want to live, your why for this goal, one goal at a time, remember, has to be bigger than that bad habit, that excuse. So whenever you're getting ready to do something that you know is a bad, unhealthy habit, think about your why behind that goal, okay? And feel it. Feel how proud you're going to be of yourself when you do what you said you're going to do. And do it when you don't feel like it. If you get one takeaway from this, do it when you don't feel like it, okay? And we all should do that no matter what it is to live the life we want, okay? So start small. Do it even when you don't want to, because it will be worth it. And that's what's going to separate you from being ordinary. It's going to make you extraordinary. And you're going to inspire people, you guys, when they see you do it. But make them small. Don't say I want to lose 50 pounds. Don't say I want to run a marathon. Say I'm going to walk 3 times this week, or I'm going to run 3 times. I'm going to run 1.5 miles each time. Think about that. That's your goal. Your goal is not to run a marathon. Your goal is to run 3 times this week, and you're going to run 3 miles each day. Then when you do that, then you add on to that, and you build up to that marathon. But you have to build on it. You can't start with the marathon. Most of us will quit before we get even too far into it because it's too far away, and it's not something we can be successful. Little baby wins to get to the big one. That's how they're going to be lifestyle changes and not change habits that you're doing just for that moment, for that one task. Lifestyle, to live the best life that we want, the life that we deserve. Preach. Yeah. I don't know why I just did that. All right, guys, that's it. So thank you all for who's sharing the post today. I hope you guys will all sign up for my workshop, those of y'all that live in Nashville. It's going to be so much fun. I can't wait. And we'll have a little Cinco de Mayo celebration at the end. And if you have any questions or comments or any other tips to how we can start to develop positive action steps, good, healthy habits to live the life we want, post in here and let's share ideas. And I would love you guys to comment throughout the week here about successes you're having with little small wins, right? Small successes to reach the goal. So if you don't have goals written down right now, write them down, pick one. Write down habits you want to create in your life, pick one. Okay? These are the things I want to start doing habit-wise. I'm going to pick one right now to focus on. Now, what am I going to do in this next day at a time, this next week to sustain, to do that healthy habit over and over and over and over again until you don't have to think about it anymore? Capiche? I don't even know what that means. All right, love you guys. Thanks for being on. And I hope to see you next Wednesday with some more fun, more good topics. All right, have a great night. Have a great rest of your week. See you soon.